So for Honeycomb Havoc, I decided I wasn't going to be showing any gameplay. Instead, I'm going to be demonstrating what exactly you need to know in order to win. So just a reminder, if you want to know the more detailed reason why or how I came up with these numbers, keep watching the video until the very end. I will break down every single scenario possible. I will break down why or how I got these numbers when there's 4 players left, 3 players left, 2 players left, and I will go into detail why each number is the way it is. If there is 4 players still remaining, then what you want to do is leave your opponents with at least 7 fruits. You can also do 1 or 2. The number on the right above DK, Luigi, and Daisy just signify the maximum and lowest amount that they can roll collectively. If there is 3 players left, what you want to do is leave your opponents with 5 fruits or 1 fruit, and you will be able to secure a spot to the end. The lowest and highest amount that DK and Daisy can both roll collectively is displayed on the right. So just remember to leave your opponents with 5 fruits or 1. And if you made it to the very end, managed to secure yourself a top 2 spot, you must leave your opponent with a 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, any multiple of 3 for fruits. Daisy can only roll a 1 or a 2, which is why those numbers are displayed above her. One last thing, just remember that every single little section before you get a honeycomb will have 8 to 11 fruits. So just to recap, if there is 4 people still in play, make sure that you leave 7 fruits behind. If there is 3 people left, then make sure you leave 5. And if there's only 1 other person left, just make sure you do a multiple of 3. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So yeah, guys, that wraps it up. If you guys want a more detailed explanation, please stay tuned. I will be breaking down each individual scenario. But if not, go ahead, leave a like, subscribe if you want. Leave a comment with what minigame you would like me to cover next. And I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, for everybody sticking around, let's get to it. Alrighty guys, so Honeycomb Havoc, I am going to break it down as much as I can. So it's probably going to look pretty crazy at first, but I'm going to break it down real quick. So let's start at the bottom right. So at the bottom right, so DK has 1 through 2, Daisy has 1 through 2, Luigi has 1 through 2. And above them is a 3 through 6. So what do all those numbers mean? Those numbers mean how much value they can roll. So each character can do 1 through 2. They can choose whether 1 or they can choose 2. So DK, Daisy, and Luigi can all collectively roll a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. So if we look at the fruits real quick, you'll see that we have about 7 fruits. You are given the choice to pick 1 or 2. Maybe in this situation you were kind of scared, so you're just going to pick 1. So pay attention to each fruit that I have coming before the honeycomb. You'll see a colored dash. So if this actually happens, and this may happen to you, that means you will be stuck with the honeycomb. So we don't want that. How do we prevent that? So in this scenario where you are left to pick when there is 7 fruits to pick from and there is a total of 4 players, so nobody being eliminated yet, you are kind of at the mercy of your friends. So let's say you pick 1, and instead of your friends picking 2, they decide to, pick 1 because they are scared themselves. They don't want to lose. Hopefully you can follow along. Luigi picks 1, Daisy picks 1, Luigi picks 1, DK picks 1. So we should be at the red circle now with the last 4 fruits. So here, you do not want to pick 1 fruit. Reason why is because 3 fruits are going to be left. So whenever there is 4 fruits left and there is 4 players, you cannot pick 1. Otherwise, you leave that chance to your friends or whoever you may be playing with to take 1 themselves. And if you follow the order, so Luigi takes the grape, Daisy takes the orange, Luigi takes the grape, DK finally takes the apple, and you are left with the honeycomb. So you do not want to take 1 whenever there's 4 left and there's 4 players left as well. So here is what you should do. So let's go to the circle again. Juan Luigi takes 2 this time. Daisy, for demonstrational purposes, is going to take 1. Luigi's going to take 1. So that leaves DK with the honeycomb. So no matter what happens, or no matter what, they are unable to give you the honeycomb because you pick 2 whenever there's 4 left. It is impossible for them to give you the honeycomb, meaning you will advance to the next round. Alright, so here's an example of if you go first and there is a total of 8 fruits. So just remember the lucky number 7. Whenever there is 4 players left, you need to leave 7 fruit because you want that excess 1 to go to you. So here's a perfect example. Juan Luigi takes 1, Daisy takes 2, Luigi takes 2, DK takes 2. And then you are left with 1 apple to take. So you take that, and now Daisy has to get the honeycomb. So if there is 3 individuals left, I highlighted the 5 fruits that you need to have left. So you're pretty much just subtracting 2 from 7. So let's say, for an instance, Juan Luigi takes, let's say you take the first one, you take the orange. Daisy takes the strawberry, the grape. DK takes the melon, the orange. So now you are left to choose when there is 5 left. This is the worst case scenario because if that happens, let's say you take 1, right? So you take the grape. So now if they know the secret, Daisy can take the apple and the melon. And then DK can just take the apple and the melon as well, leaving you with the honeycomb. So in this instance, you want to take 1 because you want to increase your chances of surviving. So for example, let's say Daisy for some reason wants to take only 1. Let's say he has a grudge against Daisy, right? So DK is going to take 2 because he knows that he's going to leave you 1. So if you take that last 1, then now Daisy has to take the honeycomb. So you see how it can get very, very tricky whenever you have to take when there is 5 left. So once again, if you're ever in this situation, there is 10 fruits left. You're the first one to pick. You always want to just take 1. That way you can at least hopefully they'll let's say for example take 1 themselves. DK takes 1, and then you're left with 7. Perfect number. Why is that the perfect number? Because then you can take 2. If you take 2, then that leaves them with the golden number that you want, which is the 5. So no matter what they do, if Daisy takes 2 and DK takes 2, you are left with that 1 last fruit. Alrighty, and here's a good example of what you should do. So there is, once again, 6 fruits left. So what you want to do is leave that to 5. So you take the orange. Daisy can take 1, of course, and DK can take 1, of course. But let's say, for example, they take 2 each. So Daisy takes the grape, the apple. DK takes the melon, the apple. And then you're left with that last melon. So then you take the melon, and now Daisy has to take the honeycomb. And then there were 2. So at the very end, it is pretty easy to know whether you're going to win or lose right off the bat. If you ever have to go first, and there is exactly 9 fruits, or any multiple of 3, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 fruits left, you are going to lose 100% of the time if the other person knows what they're doing. If there is 10 fruits left, like in this picture shown, if Juan Luigi takes 1, then that is game. Daisy can take 1. So for example, if she takes the apple, then you take the other 2. You're always going to be doing the opposite of what your opponent picks. So if your opponent picks 1, you pick 2. If your opponent picks 2, you pick 1. So one last thing, the end game. How do you position yourself to win at the end? So I'm going to quiz you guys real quick. We have a very beautifully drawn, beautifully photoshopped picture right in front of you. Let's say it is your turn and you have 2 fruits left. Do you pick 2 or do you pick 1 in this scenario? So I want you to pause the video. I'm going to pause it myself and give you guys about 5 seconds. Alrighty, if you chose 1, then you are dead. If you chose 2, then you succeeded. Alright, so why are we picking 2 instead of 1 here? Let me demonstrate real quick. So let's say you pick 2 here. Daisy will have to pick the honeycomb, and now you are left with 3 sets of 3s. So if anybody remembers correctly, if you go first and there is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, anything that is a multiple of 3 left, and you're going first, you are going to lose 100% of the time if the other person knows how to win. So why is that, right? So break it down again. If DK gets, let's say 1, then you will cancel that out by picking 2. And if DK picks 2, or let me go back. If DK picks 2 here, then you will pick 1, and so forth, right? Until everything is gone. So every time DK picks 1, you pick 2. Now let's say you pick 1, right? Why does that change things? So let's say you pick 1. So now Daisy will pick here, and DK will be stuck with this. So what does that mean? If you pick 1, then Daisy will just cancel you out, pick 2, and so forth. So if you pick 2, right? Pick 2, then Daisy will pick 1, and you are left with a choice of 3. So you can't pick all 3. Obviously, you're going to try to do your best to survive, but it's going to be inevitable. Daisy will get the last fruit, and you will be stuck with the honeycomb. Alrighty, that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you guys for sticking around to the very end. I really do appreciate you guys' time. So now for the recap, I would highly suggest us going back to the beginning of the video and going just over, like, kind of re-examining the beginning, but now with this information that I have given you and putting 2 and 2 together. Alright, with that being said, go out there and go pick some fruit, and hopefully you guys don't get stung by bees. Thank you guys. Until the next time.